Hi there traders, this is Chris from Elite Currency with a new video on Bitcoin. What's going on in the last week of August? Let's take a look. Alright, this is the weekly chart and we had two small weekly candles back to back basically. Very low volatility, and if we zoom out you can see that price is really slowing down in its price movement at this point. The 21 EMA is really holding the barrier here. It's the main basic level that I would like to see break for a uptrend to start. So if price breaks above the 21 EMA, I think that is a fair chance that finally a potential uptrend could start on Bitcoin versus the US dollar. Now that does not seem likely at this point, and I think that a lower low is more likely at this moment, even though price is at the support zone. And that has to do with some patterns that are taking place on lower time frames. Let's take a look at, for instance, the 4-hour chart here. And if we zoom in to this particular piece of price action, the pattern is looking very corrective, choppy, and consolidation, right? So it is looking like, for instance, a bear flag pattern. And we connect the dots like this, that you can see that the angle is typical for a bear flag. Shallow, weak angle, and I think that a break of this flag could indicate that this is indeed a flag and we're getting a bearish breakout. A choppy consolidation zone like this is typical for wave 4. So if we put a fib on the wave 3, you can see that price neatly stopped at the 38.2 fib right here, as you can see. There we go. All right. So that looks to be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4. If it breaks this flag, it looks to be a part of a wave 5. It can go down to the -272 target, and the weekly S3, for instance, around 52.50, which is also close to that 5K round level, psychological round level as well. Of course, 5,000 is important from that perspective. If it were to go lower, there is a -61.8 target and S4 around 4,500, and that could also be another low to think about. Now, wait, let me stay on this time frame. If it does break above the 50 fib, because there's also a supply-demand zone here, let's put it on the chart. There we go. All right, so if it breaks above this 50 fib and the bear flag, then something else might be going on. It could still be a wave 4. Actually, it could still be a wave 4 as long as the price stays below the bottom of wave 1, which is all the way here. But it does become less likely. Typically, a wave 4 does not retrace deeper than a 50 fib. If it does, there are question marks whether it is indeed a wave 4 or something else might be going on. Maybe a different pattern is taking place. And what pattern could that be? Let's take a look back at the daily chart. And I think in that case, we had a ABC up. This could be an ABC down, although, you know, this wave here looks more like a wave 3 to me than a wave C, but that's possible. And then we get another ABC up. All of that could be part of a bigger triangle potential, right? This could be the first leg, this could be the second leg, this could be the third leg. Down it goes for another ABC for the fourth leg, and then 3 ways up for the fifth leg, which is the wave V, and there could be then a push down, all right? Because it looks like in that case a bearish triangle, because we had momentum to the downside, A, B, C, D, E, sideways, right? And then a break to the downside. So in both cases, a lower low does seem more likely. That would only change in my view. Let's get rid of all of this and let's start from scratch again. And that would only change in my view if price breaks above the 21 EMA on the weekly chart. That's all the way up here. All right, this top, and the top of the 21 EMA is right here. All right, let's zoom into the daily chart. That's also the long-term moving average, as you can see. That's also a resistance trend line like this, same token. And yeah, that's about it on the daily chart, I think. So we would have to really break above this zone. So we would need to see momentum, break through it. There will be probably some correction, and then bounce off that broken support, broken resistance becoming support, and then we might see an uptrend finally start. All right, and this particular re-break, the second break, is very important as a confirmation of that trend starting to the upside. Otherwise, it is looking more, forget about this bear flag for the moment, just looking at the daily chart as well, it is looking like we have lower highs and a flat bottom, which is a descending wedge. Typically those break to the downside, right? And we might then slam into support and it can move up again. If it does break above this resistance zone, then of course it could also be a reversal, finally a reversal and an uptrend starting. But for the moment, it looks like a descending wedge, and that price could move lower like this. And that's about it, I guess. If it does move lower, there's also a long-term moving average on the weekly chart, by the way, to be aware of. And of course, some horizontal support levels on the left, I'm sure. But that's about it. I would expect a bounce at 4,500, 5,00, 5,000, or 5.25 K. It could go deeper, who knows? It depends on the pattern that takes place. If it breaks, when it breaks, if it breaks, I should say. And then, yeah, it depends on the pattern. If we see a bear flag like this, then of course it can go one more time lower. It could maybe even fall down to lower targets, right? Obviously. It depends if it falls, but then there's a quick close and reverse. Then, of course, that looks like the end of the correction and upside is about to start. All right, so key level, one more lower low is likely unless price breaks above this resistance. Then wait for the break, pullback, and continue for that potential uptrend to perhaps start. All right, that's it for now. We'll have a new update on Saturday probably when September starts. All right, and this is it for August. But we'll be back with another Bitcoin analysis, of course, next month. We'll take a look at how the August monthly candle looks like. More free analysis, though, on Ethereum, Ripple, and of course currency markets and gold and some stock indices you can find on elitecurrency.com. We wish you all good trading and talk to you soon. Cheers.